This week's skill is KRL 2.3. I can identify the characters in a story. That's the what we're doing. The how we're doing it is we're asking, who are the characters that are talking? And again, characters are people, animals, or objects talking in a story. For instance, in Beauty and the Beast, there was a teacup that talked. There was a candle that talked. And so that would be considered a character. Why do we need to know this? Good readers pay attention to the characters to help them understand the story better. So let's get started. Today's read aloud is Goggles by Ezra Jack Keats. Archie, look what I found, Peter shouted through the pipe. Motorcycle goggles. Archie watched Peter through the hole. He listened and he smiled. Peter ran to the hideout and put on the goggles. Aren't they great? He asked. Archie smiled and nodded. Peter said, let's go over to your house and sit on the steps. Archie nodded. They started off. Suddenly some big boys appeared. Give us those goggles, kid. No, they're mine, Peter said. His dog Willie growled. Archie, hold on, Willie. Hold, Willie, said Peter. Peter stuffed the goggles into his pocket and put up his fist. Archie gasped. Peter turned to see if something was wrong. The next thing he knew, he was knocked to the ground. Everyone stared at the goggles. Before anyone could move, Willie snatched the goggles and ran through a hole in the fence. The big boys chased him. Meet you at the hideout, whispered Willie. You go this way, I'll go that way. They won't know where we're going. Willie will find us. Peter raced to the hideout. He sank down as low as he could. Footsteps. The big boys, they followed me. Peter held his breath. Archie! What was that? Archie looked through the hole. There were the big boys, and there was Willie. They would see him. Archie stared at the pipe. Suddenly he spoke. Here, Willie, through the pipe, fast. Willie! Peter peeked through the hole. The big boys were coming, closer and closer. Peter took a deep breath. Then he yelled through the pipe. Willie, meet us at the parking lot. Head for the parking lot. One of the big boys yelled. Let's go. Peter, Archie, and Willie crept out of the hideout. When they reached the fence, they got up and ran. They got to Archie's house. Archie laughed and said, we sure fooled them, didn't we? We sure did, said Peter, handing him the goggles. Things look real fine now, Archie said. They sure do, said Peter. The end. Now, when I think about the characters in the story, I start to ask myself some questions. Who are the characters in the story? Let me think. Who is doing the talking? Well, I know that Peter was talking. I know that Archie was talking. And I know that the boys were talking. They must be characters. Who is the main character? Well, I know the main character is who the story was mostly about and who does most of the talking. So I would say Peter was probably the main character. But again, when I think about the characters, I think about who was talking. And who was talking in the story Goggles? Peter, Archie, and the boys. All right, you have an assignment to do on I Can Identify the Characters of a Story. Have a great day of learning. Bye.